Hello, everyone, and welcome to Deadly Gaming, hosted by me, Deadly, also known as Scott, also known as Deadly Canuck, and all the other monikers that I go by. This is my favorite game of all time, Civilization 5. There's a special place in my heart for Civilization 4, so if that's your favorite, I'm sorry, but Civilization 5 is mine. I have most, if not all, the DLCs for it. Brave New World, Gods and Kings, all the little bonus civilizations that they've offered up on Steam. I've scooped them up, and I have for a while. This game, if you are interested in buying it, is available right now as a part of the Humble Bundle. Um, I utilized this bundle actually to buy this game in particular as a gift for my brother. The Humble Bundle is basically it's a charity organization, and they get game developers to pitch in their games and offer them as a bundle. And what you do is you need to beat the average donation in order to acquire all the games on the list. When I got it for my brother, the average donation was at $15 American. And so I paid $16 American. I selected on the slider to make sure all of my money went straight to the charity in question. You can divvy up your money between the developer, Humble Bundle themselves for them to run the website and get deals and other bundles together, and also the charity that they're raising for. Uh, and so I adjusted my slider all the way to the top for the charity in question. And in that bundle, I got all of Civilization 3, all of Civilization 4, and all of Civilization 5. I should say my brother got all those three because I gave it to him as a gift, and all of the expansion packs for all those different games. And so it's a very, very good deal, and it goes towards charity. And so I'm going to include a link to that in the description down below. Now, because of the nature of my past channel being a vlog-oriented channel, and the fact that a lot of my early viewership is hypothetically going to be coming from said channel, I'm going to give a little bit of a crash course on Civilization during my first playthrough of the game. A little bit of a basics, because Civilization is a very, very in-depth strategy game. It can be exceedingly overwhelming the first time that you boot up a game and you say, look at the tech tree, you look at basically the interface and all the little values, the pluses and minuses, and you got no idea what's going on. And it took me a long time to learn it, and each time a new Civilization game comes out, it takes a while for me to learn it. Just because it is such an in-depth game, and I'm here for you. I'm here for you if that's the case. If you're not new to the game, you're starting to get the hang of it. I have quite a lot of time under my belt playing this game, and so I'll be able to help you out too with a little bit of strategy and things like that. So without further ado, let's get it started. And that's not to say that I'm a good player. I'm sort of middle of the road. I play on King difficulty personally. If you're starting out, you'll want to be up here. To be perfectly honest, you're going to get overwhelmed with an invasion if you're not up here and you're just starting out. Me personally, I'm going to be down on King. The AI gets a little bit of an advantage over me, but I mean, typically that's made up for it by the fact that their AI controlling their units in the event of an invasion or a defense is not always up to par, if ever up to par with a player. We're playing on a small map size. My big gaming computer isn't here yet. I'm still on my laptop, and so in the later game, I'm going to want to make sure that I'm not stressing out my little laptop too much. That said, my video settings are turned all the way up. I haven't figured out how to make Fraps video capture on highest setting, and I'm still new to Fraps, and I'm still new to this thing. But so I can't guarantee that the video quality going up on YouTube is going to be pristine, but that's something that's going to change eventually. I'm going to set it up on Pangea so that we're guaranteed to run into these other players. And I'm also going to standard pace, but I'm also going to have a random civilization. I like rolling the dice, playing the wild cards, seeing what the game gives me. If you want, you can go through all the different civilizations, and they tell you the different benefits and things like that. I'm going to stick with random. We're going to start it up. We're going to see who it gives us. And we're Ramses, the Egyptian Empire. Ramses II. The narrators giving a little bit of a description about Ramses and the Egyptian Empire. So each civilization gets different benefits. The Egyptian civilization gets a massive production bonus towards constructing wonders. I want to use that. I'm going to use that. And so early on in the game, that's going to pay huge dividends with building early wonders, such as Stonehenge, the Egyptian pyramids, the Great Wall, that sort of thing. Those are the wonders where that's really going to pay dividends. You also get 2 bonus units. In this case, it's a unit and a building. Some civilizations get 2 units. Some get a unit and a building. Some also get tile improvement. Unique tile improvements. We'll get to that sort of thing later. But I get a war chariot, replaces the chariot archer. The bonus for this is that I don't need. That's interesting. I don't need horses to build this unit, unlike the regular chariot. So I'm going to be able to pump out war chariots like there's no tomorrow, regardless of whether or not I have horses. Doesn't overly make sense, but hey, we'll go with it. And then also there's a burial tomb that looks like it replaces the temple. And yeah, those are the two bonuses for this civilization. So jumping in right into things, when you're new to the game, you're going to want to go with what the computer sets you up with. As far as you start the game with a settler right here. See our little people with the packed camel and the whatnot, and we've got our warrior right here to defend our settler. But really, start of the game, we're going to click our settler and we're going to click the little found city. I'm not going to move them. I'm going to trust the AI's placement of my city, and early on, when you're just getting to know things, you should too, is what I'm getting at. Now we got to move our warrior. It's asking us to move our warrior, so let's look at our warrior. These are our guys. We got our little rudimentary clubs very early. As you can see up here, it is 4000 BC. We're talking ancient here. These guys, as you can see in the bottom left, they have a combat strength of 8, which is going to come into play more later when we're well in combat, and they have movement points. They have 2 movement points. It says your unit may move 2 more tiles this turn. That's inaccurate. That should say your unit has 2 more movement points, and I'll show you why. Our unit is starting up top of a hill, which we don't get a penalty for, and over here is a marsh. That's a rough terrain. This is a hill. Also has a jungle on it. It's a rough terrain. If these were grassland or plains or tundra or desert, anything flat, our unit would be able to move 2 tiles, 1 movement point per tile. But because this is all rough, because we've got forests, we've got hills, both movement points are going to be eaten up just by moving 1 tile, as you can see. And so the saying that your unit can move 2 more tiles this turn turns out to be false. You get a movement penalty when moving into rough terrain. If we had started on rough terrain like we did on the hill and these were grassland, we would have been able to move 2. As you can see in the projection for next turn, because we're starting on a hill, yes, but because this is grassland, a flat terrain, if I move across it, I'll be able to move 2. However, if I move this way, I'm only going to be able to move 1. You see how that's working? All right, so we'll decide what to do with this guy next turn. Right now, we got to choose our production. So let's go into the city. As you can see, there's a lot of different numbers on the screen. If you look at this city, we've got a 1 out here, and it says Thebes will grow from size 1 to size 2 in 8 turns. Well, what the hell does that mean? Let's talk about it. You scroll in and you look at the different tiles. All right, we open up this little citizen management bar. Each tile has different values. The mountain gives us diddly squat. This over here gives us 2 food. This over here gives us 2 food. This gives us 1 food and 1 production. This gives us 1 food and 2 production. And this gives us 1 food and 2 production as well. We have 1 citizen. That's what that value of 1 means. And so, in addition to our actual city tile, which is automatically giving us 2 food and 2 production, we're also getting 1 citizen to work tiles. And right now, our citizen is automatically working the little lake. Obviously, fishing, hypothetically, getting us 2 food. And so, when this value in 8 turns grows to 2, I will have 2 citizens. So in addition to working the city tile, we're also going to be working 2 tiles outside of it, which will help us grow more if we get more food. And if we get more production, it's going to help us build more because we need to choose production. So as you can see, this city, Thebes, is giving us 5 production per turn. Most games, I'll start building a monument. Because that gives us culture. We'll get into culture later. This game, for the sake of what I'm talking about here, I'm going to build the scout. And the reason is because you know how our warrior down here is getting a movement penalty each tile? A scout has the benefit of ignoring that. And seeing as how we're surrounded by hills and forests and things like that, and we want to get a good idea of what's around us in the early game because we've got this fog of war up. I've got no idea where I want to settle besides Thebes. We're going to want to do some exploring, and so a scout is going to help us with that. Next up is research. This is where a lot of people get intimidated. They make the mistake of clicking this button early on because you see when you click this button and you're new to the game and you start scrolling and then you start panicking and then you close the game and go into a corner and cry. Don't focus on that. Don't focus on that too much. I mean, if you're getting close and you want to know, say where you're gonna get musketeers, and then yeah, open this up and check. But early on, when you're just starting out, early in the game, don't do too much scrolling to the right. Don't do too much scrolling to the right. Worry about what's in front of you. If you have to open the tree. What I like to do early on is I like to focus on the research that directly relates to the tiles I have around me. Because you can see we've got empty tiles like this. This is what I'd consider an empty tile. It's a jungle, it's a hill, but there's no special resource on it. This, meanwhile, is a grassland, it's a hill, but it has sheep. And sheep, as it shows up right here, it requires animal husbandry because we need to be able to build a pasture on top of it in order to get the bonus from the actual sheep itself. And so a sheep is considered a food resource. Down here is the resources that I want to look at. We've got silver, which requires mining, as you see over here. And it's a happiness resource. If you scroll over it, you see the benefit. That's food. Scroll over this. It's happiness and gold. The reason happiness is important, you can see that our empire has 5 global happiness right now. If that goes into the negative, if that goes into -1, then across all our cities, we only have 1 city right now, but across all our cities, we're going to get major penalties to both growth and production. So instead of taking 5 turns to build a scout, it's going to take me 20. Instead of growing in 8 turns, it's often something crazy like 99 or 100. And so that hurts. That hurts a lot. And the problem is you early in the game, your cities are growing very, very, very fast. When this gets to a population size of 2, that's going to eat another happiness away. And so early in the game, you want to be on top of your happiness resources, and you want to be constructing improvements upon them, and you want to be making sure you're using them early on. And so I'm going to focus on the 2 things that we need. This one's mining. Dyes is going to be calendar. Now, if you go, we don't have calendar available yet. That's when you'd open up the technology tree and give a little peek. Calendar is after pottery, as you can see. Well, early on, we've got mining right here. I can do mining right now, and it also gives me a nice little bonus where I can chop down trees to give production boosts and things like that. Yeah, we're gonna go with mining. So I think that's it for the first turn. Um, oddly enough, that's a little bit of a long first turn, but I think that's going to be our first video. We're going to be going through turns a lot quicker from here on out. I just wanted to give you an overview of what's going on because that's something, the little inner workings of how the city works. That's something that I did not learn early on. And if I did learn early on, it would make so much more sense when choosing where to place cities. But that's it for now. I'm going to keep recording actually, but this is going to go up. You're probably going to be seeing this on Saturday, maybe Friday. And yeah, I'll see you guys when I see you.